Yeah. Look it, we made it. Big checks, I like to flex, got a brand new Mercedes.
Welcome back. You're now tuning to Solar 60, the one and only timeshare podcast in the world. And I'm back with my host, Down Payment Dylan, and of course, one of my dear guests to my heart, my boy, Enrique Cabrera.
For sure.
AKA Kike, because you know what I'm saying? My boy right here, he's the one that made the call that made me migrate from New York City to come back home to Florida and to get back to the game. So I got him back on the show, and I appreciate you coming.
Welcome back.
Brother.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Welcome back.
Anything for you guys.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, we did a lot of pre-gaming, and we had a lot of back talk behind the scenes. So this show, pretty much, we're going to go right into discovery and why discovery is important, and let's talk about that. So shout out to you. Shout out for coming back. Shout out for your longevity in the game. Shout out for everything that you've done. Shout out for the people that you've put on and that people that you've referred into this industry. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to give you your flowers because you had an amazing year, 2025. I know 2026 you have bigger goals. And I just want to thank you for pouring into me, pouring into others on all different types of levels. You know what I'm saying, brother? But yeah, man. So we just talk about getting better and how do we do better in this year. And, you know, me coming up in the in-house arena and you being on the front line, the dayline arena, you know, discovery can have different questions. And for those that are watching, discovery just means, you know, understanding somebody, understanding how they travel, understanding their needs, understanding their lifestyle. So discovery is another word for saying
It's the key.
It's the key.
Without a good discovery, you don't have anything. And a lot of people, when they come in, you know, training teaches them just the layer of it, but they don't show you how to actually get the real numbers that you need. Like, you know, I've heard a lot of people say, you know, Enrique, they told me that they go 2 weeks a year. Okay, but you're not really digging into those 2 weeks. You got to ask them. So, you know, out of a whole year, you know, some people take small weekend trips, some people take big trips. But out of a whole year, how many days or weeks does it truly add up that you take away or break away from life? And then you pause and you say, for example, even if we take 3 weekend trips, it's still 6 days. So out of a whole year, how many days do you truly travel? And then they'll start thinking like, oh, well, 20 days. Okay, well, out of those 20 days, how many of those days are actually rented out? Because if you do stay with friends and family, we already know that you're not spending any money. So out of those 20 days, how many are you coming out of your pocket for those accommodations? And that's when they'll really think like, oh, okay, well, if you put it like that, only 10 days. See, so it's not really 20 days. The real number was the 10 days. And that's what you focus on. And then you say, look, okay, so you told me that you're going those 10 days. Moving forward, life's short. You know, we all here to enjoy the fruits of our labor, but moving forward, do you feel your vacations are going to increase or decrease?
So, like, these people, they need to realize that there's money they're going to spend regardless, right? And if they continue doing that overall, that's 100% loss.
But they're not even seeing that on the discovery. That's for us to get those bullets.
Right. So how do you line it up where at the end of the day that ties into a monthly payment?
Good. So this is what I actually do. So right when I speak to them, I say, you know, you have to have a good warm up too. So you don't want to go right into it. You have the good warm up. It's funny. I guess I'll just use you like if you was my tour right now. So I say, guys, it's a pleasure meeting you. You know, we're gonna go ahead and make this short and simple. I'm glad that you're here. We're gonna go ahead and give you some breakfast. How did you hear about, you know, this presentation? Oh, we was at Golden Corral and they said that we're going to do a 9-minute presentation and we're going to get some gifts. Wonderful. So whatever gifts or tickets that they promised you at the end, they're going to give you those as well. But I'm going to go cover a couple of things before we get into that. And I'm going to ask you some simple questions of how you vacation, because some people travel a lot and some people travel a little. And don't get me wrong, if you know that you're never going to vacation, then I'm going to be the first one to tell you right now, this is not for you. So if you know you're going to go home tomorrow and burn the luggage and become a couch potato, this isn't for you. But if you know that you're going to continue to travel, I personally believe that you're going to love what you see, because it's going to save you a lot of money, but it's going to let you go to places that you haven't been. And I say, so Have you ever been on a presentation? Oh, no. Okay, do you know anyone that owns a timeshare? Oh, yeah, we know. Okay, wonderful. Do they own that Marriott, Hilton, Wyndham? Oh, we don't know. Well, do you know if they have points, weeks? Oh, we don't know. Okay. Well, the reason why I'm asking is because people don't know Orlando's considered the timeshare capital of the world. There's over 170 different timeshare resorts in Orlando. But ours is not really a timeshare. This property is deeded, connected to timeshare benefits. What do I mean by that? It's real estate. So people don't know Orlando's the #1 vacation destination in the world. Have you heard what Universal Epic just did? They just built the biggest theme park called Universal Epic. They spent $7.7 billion to build that. That's nothing. Disney and Universal are always in a boxing match. So Disney just announced they're going to be spending $17 billion building Marvel theme parks. Now, I don't know about you, Richard, but I'm not a billionaire, but they're not going to spend $25 billion if they know they're not going to get the consumer for it. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I'm asking is because when people come to Orlando, if they own that Hilton Marriott, I'm glad that you've never been there because I'm going to make sure after today, you're never going to have to do another presentation because I'm going to give you a master's degree on all the 3 different timeshares. I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and ugly of all of them and show you how we're different. The reason why I can say that with confidence, I tell them Westgate makes us go to other places and show and do presentations at Hilton, Marriott, Wyndham to see how we're different than theirs. Okay? And because this property is deeded, all of us have to have real estate licenses because the state of Florida has the strictest consumer protection laws that protect you more than any city, country, or state. What does that mean? On the other side of here today, if you do become an owner, we have closing officers here on the state of Florida on recording, making sure everything I share with you is by the book. If it's not, I get sued. And guys, I like you, but I'm not getting sued for nothing. Okay? So this is going to be short and sweet. You're going to eat your breakfast. After breakfast, I'm going to give you some information about our company and industry, and then I'm going to take you out to the beautiful units and show you the resort and then show you the amenities. But now, we have 66 resorts throughout the United States, Mexico, and Canada. A lot of people don't know the difference between resorts and hotels. So resorts have amenities. This one has 7 heated pools, a $5 million water park, a miniature golf course. Hotels just have beds. So by you owning here, now you're going to have access to any resort that you want because it's resort for resort. They can't take you out of a resort and throw you in a Howard Johnson or the Best Western. I'm not knocking it. I'm just sharing with you that it's a different quality, right? So then I'm going to take you out there and show you the price. Now, I'm going to ask these simple questions real quick, and this is where I need your honesty because it's going to let me show you what you're currently spending without becoming the owner. Is that fair enough?
Yes.
Okay. Well, also, you still got to ask them, how long have you guys been together? Oh, 20 years. Wonderful. So how did you guys meet? Was it work related? Through friends? Oh, it was through work. Oh, well, how did you guys hit it right off the back? Oh, yeah, she fell in love with me right away. Okay. Well, what made you fall in love with her? Stay quiet.
Open up.
Yeah. And she's gonna be like, you're gonna see that face just flush like, is this a part of the presentation? And I stay quiet. What made you fall in love with? Oh, well, she was just beautiful. And the commonality, I don't know, she just made me feel like I was alive. Wow, that was a great. How about you, man? What made you fall in love with him? I like touching on that because these people that you speak to, they've been together 20, 30 years and they don't even remember what that was. So I let them tap into that. It's like when you first kissed a person, you got those butterflies in your stomach. 30 years later, those butterflies ain't there. So I like tapping into that. I take them off the presentation real quick and I let them answer it. And I say, guys, the reason why I was asking those questions, I apologize. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot, but I always speak to people that's been together longer. And when I ask those questions, they don't even look at each other. And it's crazy because you would think that the longer you are with somebody, the closer you become. But it seems like in this day and age, we get so complacent with working and raising kids and the stress of life that we forget about the appreciation of one another. And it's the small things that make the big difference. Rich, you could go buy your wife a $5 card from Walgreens. They don't cost much. But when you come home and she's cooking dinner, you put the card on the table. She's like, oh my God, Pierre, you thought about me. Or vice versa. If you feel he needs some deodorant, go buy him some deodorant. It's those small things that matter. And you know, people don't realize it. A relationship or marriage is like a flower. If you don't water, it's not going to grow, you know? And I don't know why the Lord is using me, but I just want to declare that the rest of your life becomes the best of your life in Jesus Christ's name. You know?
Yeah.
You know? And then I get right back into it. So I say, guys, so you know, you told me that you've been married to your wife 20 years. Did you have a honeymoon? A lot of people just miss that. That is just a strong bullet because a lot of them haven't.
Yeah.
And then if they did, okay, wow, where was it? Oh, we went to Hawaii. Wonderful. How was that for you? Oh, it was a magical thing. Okay, cool. So when you do go on vacation, you know, how many days do you guys travel? Some people take a little weekend trip. Some people take a long trip. But I say before all that, let me tell you who I am. So that way you don't think you're looking at a perfect stranger. So I'm originally from New York. I lived out there for 18 years, and once I graduated, I came down here to go to college, and I became and I decided to stay. So I guess someone should call a New York Floridian. I have a 19-year-old son that he's in college. I did my job with him. He's working. I got a 16-year-old daughter that she thinks she's 26. She's super sassy. She's like, she wants to talk back all the time. We bopping her mouth. And then 5 years ago, we had a huge surprise. We had a newborn. I wasn't trying to change diapers all over again, but my wife didn't know how to leave me alone. Ha ha ha, get them to laugh, right? I say what's funny though is I used to be a carpenter by trade, and I fell off a 2-story roof and I cracked my collarbone and I broke my leg and I was out of work for 5 months. And I'll never forget it. 19 years ago, I'm staying in the 2-bedroom right here in the condo right there in the Villas. And my wife wakes me up and she goes, honey, we got to go on this presentation. And I thought she was joking with me, Pierre, because my parents, every time when I was younger, when we went on vacation, they would always go on these timeshare presentations because that's how you get discounts to these parks and places. And I hated it because every time that we went, we'll stay 3-4 hours. My dad wasted all this time. And I'm like, what did we really get? He's like, oh, we saved $60. I'm like, dude, like, stop going to these things. So I thought she was joking, right? And we didn't have kids, so it was one of those hangover days. And I don't like waking up in the morning. It's 8 o'clock. She's like, baby, we got to go. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, girl, you go by yourself. I say, you're joking, right? She goes, no, that's how we got a discount in the 2-bedroom. And they're going to give us discounted tickets to Universal. I said, well, since you signed me up without me knowing, then just go by yourself because I'm not buying anything. She goes, well, I can't because we're married. I said, well, what happens if we don't go? Because I really don't want to go. She goes, well, they're going to charge us $400 for the 2-bedroom. And Richard, we was already there 3 days, so it was going to cost us $1,200. And at that time, I really didn't have it. So I'm like, oh my God, I felt forced. So I said, look, when we go there, just do me a favor. Just don't say nothing. Don't talk, because the longer that you talk, the longer I'm going to be there. And I don't want to be there. She goes, okay, I promise. So we get in there, and brother, the first thing she starts doing is just talking. I'm like, oh my God, like I told this chick, don't say nothing. I'm like, what are you doing, babe? She's like, no, but babe, this is so beautiful. We can do that. I'm like, they got you, babe. You know, like, chill out. Long story short, guys, I don't know about you, but I'm very stubborn. When I say it's no, it's no. And I never thought that we were going to become an owner, and we did. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the first 3 years of us vacationing, we were just doing staycations. We were going to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, just weekend trips because you got to get out the house, guys. But we seen that we spent $2,000 to $3,000 just doing that. And when it came down to it, so here, Westgate has 1 bedrooms that sleep 4, 2 bedrooms that sleep 8. They actually have 6 bedrooms that sleep 28 people, but they're all fully furnished. Kitchen, washer, dryer, pull out, jacuzzi, full out. It's a full apartment, right? So when they showed us the unit, it was $10,000. And that's when me and her realized, wow, hold on. If we keep spending $2,000 for 5 more vacations, whether we want to buy it or not, we practically own it. And we was already planning to go for her birthday to Hawaii, but when we looked it up here, the airline and everything that we wanted to do, it was going to cost $5,000 for that one trip. So that's when me and her realized, like, this is a good deal. And the monthly payment was $150. And that didn't hurt us, but our credit score was horrible. Bro, I had like a 450 beacon score. You can't even buy a styrofoam cup with that. But people don't know, when you go to Marriott, Hilton, Wyndham, or all these big companies, if you don't have good credit, you can't buy anything. Well, Westgate's the only company that doesn't check your credit. So we looked at it and said, wow. And back then, I don't know about you, but I was spending $100 back then on stuff I didn't need. So I was like, babe, let's do this. This is going to help us fix our credit. So it did. It helped us fix our credit. And we even bought a house because of it. But we've been to Italy, we've been to Greece, we've been to Maldives, and right now in February, we're going to Bali. And I'm not rich, guys. I have 3 different children. I have 3 children. If it wasn't for my ownership with Westgate, we would have never traveled so much. So, Rich, I want to apologize to you and your wife real quick. Please don't take my passion for pressure. Person can't tell me it doesn't work. I've owned mine for 19 years with them. Okay? Mm-hmm. And then I get into it.
Nice. So what I'm hearing is you got a warm-up, and then you do an about me, and then you get into your
and then I get into it. But look at what I just did. If they have bad credit, I show them that this is going to help them build their credit. Mm-hmm. Westgate doesn't check your credit. Mm-hmm. So that should have sunk in, because when I keep going in the presentation, I just put that bug in. Mm-hmm. You know, I told them that I was looking at something that was $10,000 when that first trip to Hawaii was $5,000. So the numbers don't lie. Mm-hmm. So I'm just
dropping little seeds there.
Just little seeds that they don't even know what I'm doing.
They don't know what's coming.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then I go into it and I say, okay, guys, so now this is all about you. But I need your honesty, because it's not about me. And I know that this is a sales presentation, so you're expecting me to sell you something. I'm not here to sell you nothing. I personally do not care if you buy this at all. I'm just trying to show you a better way to leverage your money. But let's get into it. So how many days do you travel? Some people take a weekend trip. Some people take a long trip. How many days or weeks does it add up that you truthfully take to give you a break away from life? I like saying break away from life because that's what it is. It used to be a luxury, but it's a necessity. You have to get out the house. You just have to get a break. So that, and when you say it like that, a break away from life, they're like, okay.
Yeah.
So they'll say, oh, okay, well, and you'll see them look at each other like, how many days, babe? Well, Okay, 15 days. Okay, wonderful. Now, those 15 days, are they all rented out or some of them are staying with friends and family? And I'm only asking because I know when you stay with friends and family, you don't have to spend any money.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to focus on what you're spending money because that's going to allow me to show you what you're spending, whether you become an owner or not.
Absolutely.
And that's when they'll be like, oh, okay, well, if you put it like that, Enrique, it's 10 days. Okay, great. That's the number I want. Now, moving forward, because life's short, tomorrow's not promised. Moving forward, do you feel your vacations are going to increase or decrease? Oh, no, they always say increase. They always say it. I say, definitely not decrease because you're going to have one life to live, right? Cool. All right, so those 10 days. Now, when do you typically travel? Is it around your birthdays, anniversaries, school breaks?
Holiday, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I know that's holidays. Okay. Now, what would you say has been your best vacation so far? And I don't mean accommodation-wise. I mean more like ambiance that you looked at your husband was like, wow, this is just gorgeous. And stand back. Oh, when we went to the Bahamas, honey. Oh, how about you, sir? What was it? Oh, when we went to Dominican Republic. Oh, okay, cool. You know? Now, when you do go on vacations, what type of things do you like doing? Do we like the beach? Do we like concerts and shows? Do we like jet skiing? And then, oh yeah, we like the beach. Okay. Have you ever did jet skis? Oh yeah. Have you ever rode ATVs? And then I cut it off and I say, I'm sorry. The reason why I'm asking these questions is because remember, when you go, you're able to go to any resort, but a lot of these resorts have already these things on there. So you're able to customize the experience that you want to feel when you're on that vacation. So that's why I'm asking these questions.
Now, I got a question for you. So most people, when they're new, they don't want to sound robotic. They want to make sure that they feel like they're in a conversational state. What tip can you give to somebody to make them feel that they're not interrogating, but
There's no tip.
conversational?
There's no tip because I sounded robotic for like 50 tours. So after your 50 tours, it's going to click to you. You have to know your presentation word for word. That's why you sound robotic. Once you mastered the word for word, that's when you can improve on how you want to direct it, how you want to get the answers that you need. If you don't know your pitch word for word, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Right.
So you have to master, and you're going to sound like a robot. Once you do that, then you can tap in.
I think everybody sounds like a robot at first, especially, you're brand new, you're just coming out of training. Of course, you got the robot syndrome, but then you kind of find your own way.
But your questions are not robotic. It's
Yeah, they are. Because you're scared. You got that anxiety, and you're like, oh my God, did I miss a part? But yeah, of course, because so you have to master that.
There's a dance, right? Like, okay, so are you actually taking a whole week or do you split it up? Like that's not robotic.
That didn't come on the first tour you took. Don't play yourself. Yeah, don't do it. Yeah, come on.
That's
now.
about 3-4 years in.
Yeah, come on. Man. So the more tours you take, the more you will finally grasp it. But so to answer your question, so you don't sound robotic, go home and make sure that you keep practicing and practicing and practicing it. And come on, you're wasting time. If you're not going to dedicate your all to this industry, you're not going to get anything out of it. But if you dedicate all to it, you're going to get a lot out of it. So it's how you want to achieve in your life. Did you just sign up for this $150 a day that they pay you? Or did you look at the bigger picture and hear that you can make 6 figures? That's what I heard. When I heard I can make 6 figures, I don't have a college degree. That's when I'm like, oh, whoa.
We had a rep recently that, they did good. They had a couple cancellations, but overall they're doing good on their site. And the TO gave them like some homework to do. Hey guys, here's, 2 or 3 page packet, go home, study it, blah, blah, blah. And the rep made a comment to me and said something along the lines like, oh, well, he want us to study this 2-3 page packet. No, I'm at home. This is my off day. I'm not going over this stuff while I'm at home. I'll pay attention to it when I'm at work, but when I'm off work, this is my off time.
Good, that she's not
and
gonna
I'm
make
thinking
it.
to myself, like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
You don't want to take 1 hour, 2 hours out of your off day to study your craft? Like, that sounds crazy.
And that's not for her.
Yeah.
And I guess she doesn't want to succeed in life because if you take shortcuts, it's not going to happen. You have to, this is the best career in the game. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a lawyer, but where can you make $2,000 off one deal? And you don't really work 8 hours. You're only really working 2 hours because that's the time that you're speaking to these people.
Yeah.
So I guess, since I didn't come from a background that, people just gave me things, I had a struggle in life, but this was a great opportunity that it showed me that I don't even have to have a college degree and I could make 6 figures. Where can you make 6 figures without a college degree? I don't know, unless you're doing the wrong thing. And be lucky. Be careful on that one. But anyways.
So a lot of the things that you've been saying so far is someone doing discovery on a non-owner. Let's say I'm an owner and I own a timeshare. Let's say I own 2 timeshares already.
No, so I didn't even fully let's finish that though, right? So I got the 10 days that they travel, right? But now I ask them, okay, so what would you guys say has been your most expensive vacation? And I mean all in, airline, car rental, shopping, food, the whole shebang. When it was all said and done, what do you think was the most that you spent on one trip? And they'll say, and I'll say 1,000, 2,000. Oh, that had to be the one that we did in the Bahamas for 5,000. Oh, okay. And that was all in? Yeah. How many days? Oh, a week. Was it 5 or 7? Oh, 7. Okay, cool. Now, what would you say has been your cheapest? That we just jumped in the car, packed the bag, grab some groceries, gas, food. What's the cheapest? Someone say 1,000. I don't really want 1,000. I want to hear like that 300-400. So when they say 1,000, I'm like, no, hold on. You never did like a little $300-400 trip? Oh, okay. Well, if you... Yeah, and we did. I want that. So look, I already have my most expensive was 5,000, and the delivery one was 300. Right? Okay, now great. So when you do go on vacations, I know we take a pretty look around for the best deals. So some places are a lot, some places are a little. What do you typically spend for one night on your accommodations? 150, 200. I already throw it out there. I don't wait for them. Oh, yeah, around 150. Okay, cool. And then. Let's say you don't become an owner. I like just dumbing this down, guys, to make it simple. Is it safe to say that you're still going to go on at least 10 more great vacations before we die? Yes. What do you think they always say?
Yes.
I know you're going to go on a lot more. I just like making this simple, guys, because at the end of the day, we don't wake up in the morning and decide to fail. We just fail to plan. So when we finally go rich, your daughter's like, oh my God, Dad, I want to do that. But we didn't put that in the budget, but we're not going to tell her no because we want to make that smile on her face. So we're like, okay. Then your wife's like, oh my God, but babe, I like how this hat looks on me. So we're not paying extra things that we didn't know. And then when you get back home, we're like, man, we spent $2,000. And then that's when I say, guys, that's all that I needed. Thank you. Now I'm going to let you go take your breakfast. And then when you come back, we can finish it. But see, I got all my meat. So let's just say when I'm on my back end, just going fast forward, and it's 15,000, I just share with them, guys, remember you told me your most expensive trip was the 5,000? Well, look, if we just did 2 more, you paid this off forever. If I just did, remember the 3,000? If I just did 10 of those, that's still 3,000. The numbers don't lie. So now, I bring it back. So let's just say they told me they spent, you said the 150, right? So I take it in front of them and I take the calculator and I go, see guys, I want to just show you that you're doing something. So in this life, we go through a circle of life that we pay mortgages, car payments, all that, right? Is it safe to say, Rich, that you make sure that all your major bills are paid before we go on vacation?
Yeah.
Because if the bills are not due, I don't know about you, Pierre, I'm not going nowhere.
Yeah.
So today I'm not focusing on the money that you're taking care of your needs with. I'm focusing on the little bit of money that you're spending on your vacations to give yourself a break away from life. So you just shared with me right now, you're going those 10 days. So if I take the 10 days and I times it by the 150, that's 1,500, right? And I'm writing it down, and that's just on your hotels. But that was just your hotel. We still didn't put gas in the car. We didn't get anything to eat. We didn't do anything. Rich, we literally went to the hotel. We put our clothes away and looked at each other like, you want to play some Uno? And they start laughing. And I say, and we still got to eat. We're not going to starve. So what do you typically spend on your breakfast, lunch, and dinner? And they'll say, oh, $80. So that's another $800. So then I take the 1,500 with the 800. That's 2,300. And I say, guys, so look, that's already 2,300. But we still didn't put gas in the car. We didn't get no amusement tickets. We didn't go no parks. We didn't get no airline. We didn't do anything. Now, you shared with me you've been married 20 years. The past hurts more than the future. So I say, how many years have you been spending that $2,300 already going on vacations? And that's when they're like, oh, 10 years. Wow, so you already spent $23,000 on your vacations at the hotels. Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you left the hotel and they gave you your money back with your receipts?
Never.
Do you think they're ever going to do that?
No.
But there's something here that's missing. And you just shared with me that you're going to take 10 more vacations, right? So let's just say you got lucky and it's all the same $150 and the same $80. So that 20 that 2,300 is going to be another 23,000, right? But there's something there that's missing that we're blind to not see as consumers. Do you know what that is?
What's that?
Inflation. And then I do my pencil pitch. And then on my pencil pitch, that's when I go to the calculator and it shows them what the real cost is with the inflation.
With the inflation. A lot of reps miss inflation. You guys got to definitely talk about the inflation. That's a real thing.
But I already showed them what they're spending without the inflation.
What is a pencil pitch?
The pencil pitch. The pencil pitch actually shows them what people are doing. So there's 5 ways to vacation. So they say, you know, first one's camping. And I say, you know, camping's really cheap, but they also say that camping's not an option every place you want to go. And I don't know about you, Pierre. My wife says that we work too hard to be sleeping on the floor. And plus, I don't want to be putting off all over me to be smelling like mosquito, you know?
Yeah.
Other people like staying with friends and family, which makes sense because when you stay with friends and family, you don't have to spend too much money, but people showed us that they don't have friends and family throughout the world to stay with. And sometimes you don't want to be a burden. You want your own privacy, right? So other people buy vacation homes. And you could buy a nice, beautiful condo on the beach or a cabin in the mountains. But I don't know if you know this, Pierre. If you go try to buy a condo right now in Miami on the beach, the cheapest property you are going to find is $1 million. Can you afford $1 million?
No.
I can't either, so don't feel bad. So it doesn't make no sense to spend $1 million if you're just going there 10 days a year. But it does give you a piece of real estate. That gives you a deed and it gives you equity. And you're still responsible for the yearly expenses. So we got to cover the utilities, the taxes, the insurance. And if you ever want to sell it, you want the most money for it, right?
Yeah.
So you got to maintain it. Now, do you own a vacation home?
No.
It's okay. A lot of people consider it to be a dream, but in reality, it's a nightmare. That's why Airbnbs are all created right now, because people are trying to rent them out to recoup them and then they're losing, but I'll cover that. But let's just say, you're still gonna go on vacation, right? Everyone wants to go on a dream vacation. Oh, and I didn't go over that, I'm sorry. So on the discovery, after I ask them what's the most they expend and what's the less, I asked them what's on their bucket list. Where do you want to go you haven't been? So when they say Italy and then they Greece and how about in the United States? Oh, Vegas. I get a bunch. And I ask them, have you ever priced those trips? And they're like, well, you're going to spend $3,000 or more unless you're going to stay in a hostel. And I don't think you're going to let your wife stay in a hostel because they'll kidnap you and steal your organs, so be careful. Quack, quack, quack. But now they know more, right?
If they've never priced those trips and you've never priced those trips, will you price them right there on the table with them, or you just give a generic?
I give a generic.
Okay.
Italy's not going to cost you $2,000. It's going to cost you $4,000.
Yeah.
Period. It's just common sense.
Got you.
It's common sense on that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that doesn't ever have a problem on that.
Got you.
But at least they're like, oh wow, okay, cool. So, that's another thing I do. I say, so guys, we don't even realize. Remember the 2,300? So I take the 2,300 and I do it right there before I even go to my pencil pitch. This is some like real meat, guys, out there. So if you're listening, you could go rewind on this video.
Yeah.
This is some really good meat. So I take the $2,300 and I say, guys, so take that and you divide it by 12 months. That's already $191 that you're spending right now on just hotels. Never would have thought about it, right? But you're really spending more because that was just hotel and foods. So now I bump it up. So you're really spending $3,000. So I take the $3,000 and bump them without them knowing it. So that's $250. So guys, that's $250. Guys, Pierre, I don't know about you, but you seem like a smooth guy. But I don't know. Do you pay all the bills and she lives like Cinderella?
Yes.
Yeah? Oh, you on the Jeffersons days, because my wife knows we got to split it 50-50. Sorry, guys. So, but if you take that $250 and you divide it by 30 days, it comes out to $8.33. Pierre, respectfully, just looking at you, I know you spend more than $8 a day on stuff we don't need.
Yeah.
We don't do it on purpose. We just do it, right?
Right.
So look at it this way. Let's say your boss calls you right now. You don't buy anything, but he calls you and he says, hey, guys, we have some bad news and we have good news. Which one you want to hear?
Give me the bad news
He
first.
says they're going to start taking $8.30 out of your paycheck once a day. Not every hour, just once a day. You're going to at least ask why, right?
Why?
He says, because Pierre, we want to show you how important you are for our company. We want to do something special for you and your family. We're going to put that money into a vacation fund. That at the end of the year, by you putting that $8.33, at the end of the year, we're going to let you go anywhere out of the country, anywhere in the United States. You could pick a 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom luxury condo, but you're getting a deed that you can use it, sell it, rent it, whether you own it. And they're not going to take it out forever. They're going to just take it out to the same $23,000 that you already spent in the last 10 years going on vacation. Would you become an owner?
Of course.
I say, would you quit?
No.
That's what this is.
This episode was brought to you by the Richdale School of Real Estate. This is where you can learn how to sell timeshare instead of residential real estate and make a whole lot of money.
For sure.
So
My man, that is on the backyard. What's it called? The
Backyard bully, back end bully.
The back end bully. That is the close on the back end bully. So as you can see,
I don't know who the back end bully is, but I like
That's
that.
actually something that's a product that's actually viewers actually pay to get that information, and you just gave it away for free. So
if you wonder where I get some of my greatness from,
yeah,
he called me down and said, "You could be great at selling people and helping people vacation the world." And he gave me his pitch.
yeah,
And he gave me his iPad, and he said, "Be great."
yeah.
You know.
No, but it's a beautiful thing. The reason why I set it up like that, remember, I'm doing everything to set up everything for the back end, right? So I already know they're probably gonna buy something for $300. So I like it because a lot of these people don't have good credit. So I do it differently. So that $8.33, let's just say, for example, let's say the payment's $300, right? And let's just say both of them say they both split the bill.
Right.
So that's $150. I like what I'm trying to show you. When I take the $150, now this is for the back end. I'm just saying, is it okay if I speed up a little bit?
Of course.
To show where it impacts, right? So I take the $150 and divide it by 30 days, it comes out to $5 a day. So I say, guys, I want you to see something. I want you to see what this $5 really does. $2 fixes your credit. The other $2 lets you travel around the world wherever you want to go. And the other dollar lets you own this forever. And if that's not worth $5 a day for you and your family, I don't know what else to say. So before you say that you're not going to do this, please, guys, it's $5. I'm going to walk away and then you let me know what you feel. I'm just,
Yeah.
when you come back, out of 10 tours, like 7, I'm like,
You know, one thing that the viewers need to listen is, I've had some reps say, "Oh, I did a discovery," and the first thing I say, "Okay, well, what was their rent versus own?" "Oh, it was $1,000. Oh, it was $1,500." In my mind, the minimum for a rent versus own is at least $2,500. You got to at least get $2,500.
Easy.
At least.
Easy.
And if you don't got the $2,500, you got to build the dream on what future vacations would be like. You got to get that number up to at least $2,500, because when you divide it by the 12, it's going to get you to that $150 payment, which is like the cheapest product that all timeshare companies have, I would assume.
Yes. Now, when it gets to explaining the product, or did you want me to finish the whole? I don't have to finish the whole pencil pitch for these people, right? Right?
No, you're good.
Okay.
I mean, you can, whatever you.
All right. So then when you get to the second column.
Because let's keep it thorough. Everybody doesn't know what a pencil pitch is.
Okay, I'm sorry. So
some other
And
companies.
some people skip pencil pitches, and
so
that's the most
we probably
important.
not even supposed to be doing this then.
we can do whatever we want. This is Sold in 60. The one and only timeshare podcast in the world.
But some reps don't do a pencil pitch though.
I know, but
But some companies call it what they call
They don't-
economics.
yeah, like,
And they touch on
and
it.
you can't even. So I can't even really show the pencil pitch because I don't want to.
So my question to you was, what
But you
is
still
a
have to.
pencil
A pencil
pitch?
pitch is showing them what people are doing, and then what you're going to be doing in the past if you don't buy.
A pencil pitch is an illustration of what you're doing as a renter versus what you could be doing as an owner.
Yes,
There you go.
for sure.
You know? So like you elaborated on, if they continue doing what they're doing, renting, they're going to spend this amount of money and have nothing to show for it. However, there's an alternative. So continue.
Yes. So I like that. So when it gets to that, and then you explain, and that's another thing. So when you finally get into this, you have to get better. So it's not about just drawing out illustrations. I'm the type of individual that I actually went online and I picked and I found a picture of a Motel 6. And Motel 6 really was $6 a day in 1962, but the picture that I have shows it.
Facts.
I'm the type of individual that if I say something to the customer, I don't want them to take my word for it.
You want to show
I
them.
want to show you where I'm getting my information from.
Yeah.
So that way they can be like, oh, you made that up. No, dude, look, it's right here.
Yeah.
Then people don't know Super 8, and I flip it over. And so I have a Motel 6 on one page, and on another one, I have Super 8. And they were $8.88 2 years later. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
So I showed them that, and I said, "You shared me right now. You're spending $150, and we don't look at it. We pay that $150, and that $150 is paying the maid, the landscaper, the security that goes into that hotel. And then when you leave, they buy another hotel. They go on vacation with it. But at the end of the day, Whose money do you think they're using? But I have another picture that shows what a hotel room looks like with just the 2 beds, the TV in the bathroom, right? And I say, so look, it's you and your wife there and you got your 3 kids. You try to hug your wife and play footsie. Just like, stop it, the kids are right there. There's no privacy. And then you're looking at the oldest one like, can you just get some ice in the hallway for like 10 minutes? Then when you come back to the room and that other picture I have the kids jumping on the bed. So you come back to the room and they're fighting on the bed, fighting with the TV. Like, oh my God, we got to get this kid out of the room.
Yeah.
Everyone felt it. And I saying, please don't take the black light and go across the bed with it. Oh my God, you'll never stay there again.
The black light.
Yeah,
Word.
you see them like get the creepies, right?
Word.
And I say, so like, guys, that's a huge problem. So I just showed you, you're going to be spending just on your hotel and food, you're going to spend 50 grand. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a big problem. But there's one way you're not going to spend that. Do you know how?
If I don't go.
Some people don't even say that. But and when they say that, I say, yeah. And I have high five them. Are you not going to go? Rich, aren't you a great father? Yeah. Are you going to look at your daughter right now and say, baby, you know I love you with all my heart, but I have some bad news to tell you. She's going to say, what, daddy? I'm never taking another vacation again. And they're like, you're not. I know you're not. So the solution is what this is. It's called timeshare ownership. But not everybody can afford $1 million property. So what they did is they took that $1 million property and they divided it into weekly shares. So if you travel 1 week, you own 1 week. If you go 2 weeks, you buy 2 weeks. You don't buy more, you only buy what you need. But each week is a piece of real estate. So if you own 2 weeks, you now own 2 properties instead of 1. Are you getting this, guys?
Yeah.
I tell them that. That's giving you a deed, equity, and don't get me wrong, you live 365 days a year out of your house, but when you go on vacation, you go those 2 weeks. And remember I told you you're spending $3,000? Isn't it crazy? How much do you pay for your mortgage right now back home? They'll say $1,500.
$1,500.
Rich, I just showed you by you spending that $3,000 for those 2 weeks, you're already sacrificing 2 months of your mortgage for 2 weeks. Isn't that crazy? 2 months of your mortgage for 2 weeks. Just let that digest real quick, right? I love it.
Easy.
No, let them let that digest, right? Then I say, so, but you're still gonna go. So the cool thing is now you can use it, you can rent it, Facebook Marketplace, Airbnb, VBR. I can't do it for you, but I can. It's easy. I can show you. I just can't collect the money from it. You can sell it. They say, no, you can't. Yeah, you can. It's real estate. You can actually go back home and have a realtor sell it for you, or you can sell it to one of your friends. And I tell them, but we have the first right of refusal. What does that mean? Doesn't mean we're going to buy it back, but if your best friend calls you and says, hey, we'll give you $2,000 for it, we're not going to let you devalutize the product. We'll buy it back and raise it to market value. So you're still getting something instead of
Nothing. Got you.
But now you can will it off to your family. But the best part is that now if you don't ever want to come back here to Westgate, you could still stay at the Hilton, the Marriott, the Wyndham, at any resort, but all you're paying to stay at those places is $249 for the whole week. For the whole week.
You said something earlier. You said you're the type of rep that you don't just want to tell them about it. You want to show them, right? And you won't believe how many reps work at these timeshare resorts and they don't even know what an owner's account look like. They don't know what logging into RCI looks like. They don't know what logging into Interval International looks like. They're just telling people they can take a getaway without actually showing them what a getaway actually is.
And that's the bread and butter, because when I show them the getaways, I tell them that these prices that you're seeing on these getaways, these are ownership resorts. You don't get to see these online because they're ownership resorts. But the good thing at Westgate, I don't know about other companies, we give them a tablet that lets them see what the units really look like. But then when I go into it live, I show them that they can pick it from 1 day in advance all the way to 2 years out. So when I go on there and they see these rates going for $300 for the week, that's when I'll go on Expedia. Like there's one place in Jamaica right now, it's called Azul Beach Club. It costs $300 on my getaway on Interval International. On Expedia, they're $7,000 weeks.
Yeah.
But
sure.
And it's crazy that sometimes when you go on Expedia, it'll say sold out, and on our site, it still shows that it's open.
Yeah.
And it's cool because I tell them, guys, do you know why it's sold out and ours isn't? Because owners get first right. But what would you rather spend, $7,000 that you're seeing now, or $300?
For sure.
So that's why you can share these with your friends and family as well.
For sure.
And I ask them, so Pierre, who's a good friend of yours? Oh, Mikey. Well, imagine, even if you don't stay the whole week, it's still that $300. But even if you stay 3 days, you can still call your friend and say, hey, Mike, I don't know about you, but I'm leaving, but I got 3 more days there. Let them take it.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for you, they wouldn't have been there. But that's not even affecting you.
What's your take on because you can get a deal just off of getaways alone.
Period.
But what's your take on selling yourself? I think Richard is real good at this. Selling yourself as part of the deal, like selling yourself as
I'm
can
a
I
beast
be
with that.
can I be attached to their account to help them with their?
I do that when it comes to see there's so when you work at Hilton and Marriott and all these places, they don't have a good referral program. Sorry, Westgate has something that's exclusive and it's just different. So you want to show these people that they can actually call out to you. I always tell them, guys, before you even do anything, call me. Because I'm going to educate you to use your cash rate before you use your week. If I see it's costing me $300 cash, don't use your $249 exchange. Save that for your birthday, your anniversary, something special. Because I've never seen Hawaii less than $1,000. But if it's $1,000 on my site, that's a $6,000 week everywhere else. And then I go to Hawaii on the getaway and they show them that it says $3,300. I say, so guys, look, if it's $3,300, remember, this is already 60% off. So that's really a $10,000 a week. But when you see it high at 33, that's when you put your exchange on it. So you can never tell me, oh, Enrique, I can't go. Yes, you can, because you have a year to 2 years out, you know? And I tell them, guys, I never drove a Ferrari, but when I went to Dubai, I drove a Ferrari, but it's because I only paid $249. So it gave me the extra money. And I don't know if you ever sat behind a Ferrari, brother. You step on that gas and it's like, I see why they buy them. It's like my whole body shook. I'm like, oh, I got the, you know? But if it wasn't for me paying the $249, I wouldn't have had that experience. So this gives you more money to go splurge. You could look at your wife and say, wow, honey, let's do a helicopter tour. Let's go rent out these nice jet skis. Let's go rent out these four-wheelers. You know what I mean? It's funny because one of my biggest trips, I actually went to Jamaica with 25 of my closest friends. I never did anything that big in my life. And I was kind of scared because when we invited everybody, not everybody knew each other. And I'm Puerto Rican, guys. So if you get 25 Puerto Ricans, there's going to be some Chihuahuas fighting. So we thought somebody was going to be fighting, right? But it was amazing because I found 4 2-bedrooms on there and I paid $500 a piece, but I didn't charge anyone. I let everyone get theirs. But we all were actually going jet skiing, four-wheeling together. But it felt so amazing that if it wasn't for me, they would have not been there. You know? So it's just a beautiful thing. I tell people, guys, I'm not smarter than you. I'm not better than you. But I paid $10,000 for mine 19 years ago. I just stopped the bleeding. You know what I mean?
I think or another good thing that you brought up that I'm listening to you is when you tell the family, hey, would you rather spend, $6,000 or $7,000 for that week, or would you rather spend, $300 for that week? One of the most, obviously everyone's going to go to the cheaper, I'd rather pay $300 than $7,000 for the week. But one of the most important follow-up questions would be, okay, well, with the money that you saved, right? Instead of spending $7,000 for the week, you spent $300 for the week. With that money that you're saving, what would you do with that money, right? And then now that opens up so many possibilities of what they could do with the money.
That just gave you your airline tickets. That just helped you buy your wife some new Chanel glasses.
Or that could be towards the objection that they're going to give you. That could be towards remodeling the house back at home. That could be towards, a down payment for a second property. Or that could be, that's extra money that they can now use towards X, Y, and Z, whatever the case may be.
I love it too when they say, oh, well, I'll just take that money and go invest it. I'm like, yeah, you can.
You can do that too.
But that's what you're doing. Even when you're investing, you're still going to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's like, imagine I gave you right now, you walked into a gas station and they say, hey, you came here at the right time, Pierre. We're going to give you a one-time card today that guarantees for the rest of your life that you're never going to spend more than $1 for each gallon of gas. Would you take a card?
Of course.
That's all I'm trying to give you today.
Now, shout out to everyone that's listening that is on the front line, the day line. But we have a select amount of viewers that are on in-house. And they're like, that's good. But what about for in-house? And my take on in-house, because I was born in in-house, is that if you ask the questions that ask how they've been using it, what's working for them, what's not working for them, then you create an angle on where they need a new week.
Of course.
Or new points.
And how do you do that?
By discovery, by asking questions. What's working? Does it work? Do you love it? Where have you been so far? What's holding you back from going to where you want to be? What was your dream vacation? Future vacations.
But also, you got to ask them, has their program always worked for them?
Right.
And then you have to ask them, outside of your ownership, how
what
many
extra
days? How many exactly?
Absolutely.
Right. We're going to take what. So that's another thing. People are afraid to ask. So outside of this, how much are you spending on rentals or on vacations? Because that's more money to use towards ownership. They contradicted the reason why they became owners in the first place. If you're still renting,
Exactly.
you gotta show them how to put that money towards ownership.
I had a rep that told me the other day that they had a tour. The tour already owned a timeshare, but they were spending $15,000 outside of their timeshare that they currently own. Now, as crazy as that sounds, that rep didn't get that deal. And in my mind, that's a deal. You missed something somewhere. Maybe you didn't ask the right question, whatever the case may be. But if somebody owns timeshare in front of you and they're spending money outside of that timeshare, that's a deal.
That's a lot.
I mean, if you divide that, I mean,
That's a lot of meat
that
on
might
the
have been a
table.
one-off payment, a one-off trip, but you can still put them into the picture for future vacations. That $15,000 divided by 12 can be a monthly payment that could have been applied towards their upgrade. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy, you know, like, and that's another thing too. So when you get in this game, you're going to go through ups and downs, and you might even go through a rut. And don't ever let that rut defeat you. Because I can't make a person smart in 90 minutes, dude. You know, it's crazy how some of these people really try to tell you that it doesn't make sense and they're spending more. Like that to me bothers me. You know, that you're telling me that you'd rather still go spend $4,000 at the hotel instead of you paying $2,000 on your home place. You know what I mean? But you're gonna catch those. So don't get distracted and let that beat you up, because this game is the timeshare game is the hardest job, but it's also the best job. It's the easiest job. It's really a mentally frustrating gig. But the greatest thing is that you can fail 80% of the time. What job do you have in the world that you can fail 80% and still make out? That's a beautiful thing, dude.
Yeah.
That's what always grounds me. I'm like, damn, like I could suck 80% of the time, dude. You know what I mean? So, but when you get in that rut, like you just keep digging yourself. You gotta uplift yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, and you gotta stick to it. And then that's when people start changing things in their presentation. Like, I never change it. I don't care if I take 9 tours and I don't get no deals. I'm still not gonna change it, because the next week I might get 5. You know what I mean? But when they start changing it, that's when you get all distant, complacent. You know what I mean?
What's your take on a rep that'll say, yo, I don't care about pitching heat because, you know, I'm going to make $10,000 in commission, and if they fire me, who cares? I made $10,000. I can just take this $10,000 and go to the next resort.
That's horrible. I don't believe in pitching heat, because I don't feel morally like I'm doing the correct thing. I don't even like pitching somebody that a $30,000 deal when I know they can afford a 15. I don't believe in that. I want the family to feel like they're getting something that they're gonna enjoy. This is not to create them to be fighting in the car and cause a divorce. This is for them to be like, wow, you know what, babe? For our birthday next year, we're gonna go to Italy for $249. I want that to resonate. I don't want them to be in the car like, oh my God, honey, like, oh my, what did we just do? No, I want you to feel good about this. You know what I mean? That's for me. I don't. Because at the end of the day, it's just like karma. If you want to put bad out there, you're going to get bad out there, dude. You can't, it's like what they say, whatever you do in the dark is going to come onto the light.
Yeah, eventually.
So it's going to still bite you in the ass. If you want to do something like that, then you're just morally wrong for yourself. How can you hurt this person when you know you're hurting them? That's not cool. You know? So I'm not that person. You don't have to pitch. There's no need for it, dude. This thing sells itself, bro. You just show them the actual numbers and you're showing them what they're spending. And if they can't grasp it, then it's okay. But it's common sense. And I even tell people, I say, wow, so you went to college for all these years and you have all these degrees and you don't have any common sense, dude. Do you know what the description of insanity is? And they're like, what? Some of them don't even know. Yeah. I'm like, it's continue to do the same thing over and over, expecting different results. And then they look at me like, did he just call me insane? No, that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So you have a brand new rep. They just got their real estate license. They got into timeshare. They went to their first resort, whatever that brand may be, and it didn't work out for them. What's your advice for them?
And it didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
But why didn't it work out?
For whatever reason, they got their license. They got into timeshare because they heard they can make a lot of money. Maybe they heard Sold in 60, the podcast show. They got their license. They joined XYZ Resort. That first resort didn't work out for them. What's your advice for them?
If that first resort was in Westgate, then go to Westgate.
Okay.
before you give your
What a plug.
before you give up.
Cut the check.
Hold on, Westgate only got like 12 resorts now. Let's hold
66.
66?
66.
Oh, word. Okay.
But before you give up on yourself, go to Westgate and get the correct training. And then, if you don't make it at Westgate, you're not gonna make it anywhere.
Oh shit!
Sorry, just cut the check. Go work
Now,
for Dunkin' Donuts.
is Westgate training in Orlando the same as Westgate training in Gatlinburg?
Yes,
Oh wow. Okay.
across the board.
Got you.
But we're speaking to real people. We're speaking to the people that don't have any money. But what I like about Westgate is we don't check your credit. So I've been on tracks that if they want it and their credit
don't got the
sucks,
credit.
they can't
Yeah,
buy it.
yeah.
So
That's
at least
true.
what I like about it, if they can do it, Westgate makes the way.
Their equal credit
Yes.
opportunity.
Yes, sir.
ECOA.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say this. Shout out to everyone that's tuned in today. Thank you for following. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. Please comment. Share your thoughts. Tap in. Give us a like. Give us a comment. Thank you for Enrique coming through. Thank you for down payment,
pleasure.
Dylan. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't downloaded the Sold in 60 GPT, please go to the link in our Instagram bio. Grab it because this is a great tool. You can use it. I'm gonna tap in with her right now and see what she got to say or he got to say. So chat, coach, what's good? We are live on the show right now. We just had my boy Kike come in and, share his experience and his expertise on, we talked about discovery today and he's great with discovery, down payment Dylan, he chimed in, but, the viewers want to know how you doing and they want to make sure that they are doing the right thing by downloading the Solar 60 Chat GPT to enhance their sales. So what do you want to say to the people? Talk to them.
Absolutely. And hey, it's awesome to be live on the show with you and your viewers. Thanks for having me on. So first off, I just want to say a big shout out to everyone tuning in and considering using the Sold in 60 Coach GPT. You're definitely on the right track to leveling up your timeshare sales game. What I tell your audience is this. The Sold in 60 Coach is here to give you that quick on-the-fly coaching whenever you need it, whether it's handling an objection, getting a quick confidence boost before a tour, or figuring out how to explain the value of a certain upgrade using something like a Hilton Grand Vacations point system. I've got you covered. So if you're in timeshare sales and you want that extra edge, go ahead and download it. And for everyone listening, remember to check out the Sold in 60 YouTube channel for ongoing tips and inspiration. We're all about making your sales journey more successful and a lot more fun.
That was beautiful.
Peace, baby. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I love
That's
it.
what we do, bro. I appreciate
That was
you.
beautiful.
You know what I mean? So you now listen to Sold in 60. Tap in, like, subscribe, share. And that's how you get Sold in 60.
And we out just like that.
Peace.
That was good.